Mm-hmm. Good evening, Goffstown, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another night of exciting girls varsity basketball here live from the Grizzly Den. I'm Bob Bartolucci, and I'm here with my sidekick and co-host, Mr. Rob Foreman. And Rob, well, we're kicking off
Season 3 back together.
That's right, Season 3 back. They renewed our contract.
They did.
And we're back, so back for more Grizzly basketball. And obviously, we had a successful, I thought, preseason show, which is playing now live on the internet and on GTV. And this is going to be our first home game, but it's the girls' third game of the season.
It's your first two on the road.
Yeah, first two were on the road. And Rob, you promised to keep me in line because I don't know why I get so vested in this, but very disappointed with our two road games. And you know, I went to both. You and I were both at the first game of the season. Why don't you give me your impressions before I give mine, which weren't very good?
Well, I first will say I think we had an opportunity to win both.
Yes.
So coming away 0-2 and now going against a really tough Salem team tonight, you got a bad taste in your mouth. I think what I've noticed is this team is young and not that experienced. And here's what happens. You go through parts of the game where the turnovers, the silly passes, the mental mistakes happen, and all of a sudden you give up 8 or 10 points and it becomes a lead you can't recover from. So what I did notice, I watched the Alvern game on TV. I saw you sit in the front row. There was more spurts there where they looked like they were in control. So I haven't lost faith or hope. I think that the team is young. They're going to figure out their identity, and I think we knew that early on. And I think that they're improving with each game.
Okay.
Now, you tell us how you feel.
Well, 2 games. I'll give you credit. I guess they're improving with each game because playing in Alvern on Tuesday night was better than what we saw last week in South Nashua. However, it's fair to say that a little disappointed. We should be 2-0. We know, and from the preseason season, we talked about it, that this team is going to be a little tighter to the line as far as being in that playoff line.
Yeah.
We are a bubble team. We are not going to be one of the leaders like we have been for a while and like what we're used to. And we kind of anticipate that. They are younger. They do have to get better. But really, they can't afford to let them beat themselves.
Yeah.
And being at both games, what I watched is it wasn't the other teams winning. It was us losing.
Giving things away.
Giving it away. In South Nashua, I believe there were 30 turnovers. 30 turnovers.
20 the other night.
And 20, so in 2 games, the 50 turnovers. We were also in South Nashua almost 30 fouls altogether. We got into foul trouble early.
Real early, yeah.
We cut back on them in Alvern, but also it just silly plays. So we definitely have to get better. And when we start playing the better teams, we're really going to pay the price if we don't. As far as the bright spots, not a lot yet, but it's going to be in the leadership of this team. So I'm going to be interested to see where that goes. And so what are you looking at for tonight against the Salem team that's going to be a feisty team?
Yeah, I think Salem's going to be tough. They're averaging about 67 points a game.
And they're 2-0.
They're 2-0, putting up 67 points. We're getting right at 50. So you either got to score a lot more points or you got to stop them on defense. I'm not sure our defense is at that level yet. I think one of the positives we've talked about in you and I before the game was Reese. Reese Still. I think that she is really, really starting to come into her own. I'm not sure she understands how gifted she is athletically and in this game of basketball. She is averaging 12 a game. Meredith's at 12.5 and Morgan's at 12. So you got 3 of your players you thought would average double digits, and they are. I think Reese is somebody who can start approaching 20 points a game. She just can take care of business.
I talked to Reese a little bit before the game, and I told her if she gets 20, we win.
Yeah, I agree.
And I strongly believe that. I think it's with the team being as young as it is, and Reese also young. Remember, she's only a sophomore.
Correct. Yep.
Which bodes well for the future, by the way. But the thing is that Reese has, I think, got to play a little bit more selfish in the offensive zone. And like you said, I think that's part of maturity and also having more confidence in herself. So she's got to start. I know you want to dish and you don't want to be a ball hog and stuff like that. There's a fine line between hogging the ball and then making the play to win the game.
Well, and I think that if she learns that if she takes control of certain situations, the pressure then comes off Meredith to have to score so much or so often. And it shares the load. And now all of a sudden, Morgan can hit a three-pointer or pick another player on the roster, can get a couple buckets along the way. So she can provide a lot of scoring, but a lot of relief to the offense as well.
Yeah, I do think Reese is going to be the key to the offense. And Meredith, of course, the leadership role, I'm encouraged by one thing I am encouraged about, which is good watching on the road games. Meredith really cares. She does. She cares about this team, and she cares about her teammates. It's almost to the point, too, where she almost cares too much.
Yeah.
Because as a result, I think she's putting a lot of pressure on herself to try to do everything.
Yeah.
And, what she has to be able to do is know that you have people like Reese and stuff that you can lean on. And that's really where the maturity has got to come with this team.
Agreed. Well, we haven't seen Salem play yet, but I do know that Ella Mosto's averaging 17.5 and Lily George at 17. So there's your two big scores, and then Lindsay gets at 13.5.
These are two older players, and they're extremely well coached.
They are, and
so Salem is not going to make mistakes.
No, and I remember last time we saw them here, you and I looked at each other and said, boy, this team's going to be really good. They had a lot of young talent. I don't know if it was last season or 2 years ago. They had a lot of young talent, and we said, oh, boy, they're going to be really good. I think we're going to do introductions here. Yeah,
it's going to be full introductions of, I think, both rosters. So we'll tap into the overhead and listen to Al.
For tonight's first girls' home game, we will introduce the complete rosters of both teams. Let's meet tonight's non-starters. First for Salem High School. Number 1, Olivia DiFrancesco. Number 3, Amelia Murray. Number 5, Nicole Rigdon. Number 10, Kylie Oliveri. Number 11, Val Nunez. Number 12, Shay O'Loughlin. Number 15, Bradley Thompson. And now, here are the non-starters for the Grizzlies. Number 2, Peyton Duff. Number 3, Taylor Johnson. Number 10, Gwen McDonald. Number 11, Gabby Millis. Number 14, number 12, Dana Still. Number 14, Addie Glazier. Number 20, Jocelyn O'Leary. Number 22, Catherine Jones. Number 23, Katie Cass. Number 24, Maddie Giordano. And now, let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First for Salem High School. At forward, a 5'10" tennis junior, number 14, Michaela Burns. catcher, number 0, Morgan Lockdown. At guard, a 5'7" senior, number 2, Lily George. At guard, a 5'7" senior, number 4, Lindsay Getz. And at guard, 5'7" senior, number 13, Ella Mostow. The coach of the Blue Devils is Ricky Oliver. Assistant coaches are Christine Abujani, John Gatzis, and Jordan Franson. And now, here is the starting lineup for the Grizzlies. At forward, 5'11" sophomore, number 13, Reese Smith.
5'11"?
5'4" sophomore, number 1, Jenna Shannon. At guard, a 5'7" junior, number 4, Mia Brissett. At guard, a 5'5" senior, number 5, Morgan Bond. And at guard, a 5'10" senior, number 21, Meredith Winterburn. The coach of the Grizzlies is Nate Gracie. Assistant coaches are Scott Brandon and Cassidy Lalamaire. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise if you are able and remove your hats as we honor America, our servicemen and women serving all over the globe, and all of our veterans with the playing of our national anthem.
All right, Goffstown, we're back here at the Grizzly Den, and we're just ready to kick off the season here, the home opener. We didn't talk too much about it, but we've been blessed here with pretty good coaching, good coaching staff here in Goffstown. We went from Largy now to Bracey. It's his rookie season coaching the varsity squad, but it's certainly been around a long time, used to the program. And I'd be remiss if we didn't say Ricky Oliver,
yes,
Salem coach, if we didn't have the coaches we have, that would be the guy.
He's on top of your list?
Yeah, he's on top of the list. I mean, he's an all-star coach.
He's always dressed nice.
He's the sharpest dresser, bar none, out of everybody.
Yes.
And nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
Ricky
He came
Oliver.
over. We moved our table over here. He came over and wished we were next to him.
Yeah, that's right.
I know.
Of course, he's jealous. He wants us right there. So here we go. We got the tip-off. It's going to be Goffstown gets the ball. Reese tipped it over to Meredith. Reese in the paint. Throws it out to Shannon. Kick back. Meredith Winterburn's got to start it back because it was tipped back by Mosto. Here I go again. This is what screwed me up with the Sasso.
Doesn't take
Sorry,
much,
Maggie.
does it?
Maggie's here.
Yeah.
We do got some veterans from last year's team here in the stands tonight.
The last couple years.
Yeah. Because, of course, we're here for the Christmas holiday. Yep, we got Ava Winterburn up there.
I see Vaughn, and I see Sasso. Don't see Ruggiero tonight.
Another giveaway.
Yeah, let's. I'm going to chart these turnovers here.
Meredith Winterburn unfortunately tried to go to Bissett, and Mia dodged when she should have weaved or whatever, and now foul.
Exactly what we can't afford to happen is
and this
these
is
cheap fouls.
It's indicative of what we were talking about, the turnovers and the fouls. It's odd we have it less than
20
30
feet
seconds.
from the basket, right?
Right.
At that point, that player's not going to hurt you.
Right. And here we are in the first 30 seconds. Got a good turnover and a long three. And then underneath, Lindsay gets that for Salem. Winterburn's going to inbound this. Dodge. Back to Winterburn. Winterburn's going to bring it up. She's got Raskow on her. And Meredith tries to go into Bissett, and it was a turnover. Bissett got a piece of it, but
another foul.
That's going to be Morgan.
Yeah, and what we know by Coach Oliver's teams in the past, they love the full court press, and you really got to take care of the ball.
And that works against a young Grizzly team.
It does.
Who's really trying to work out how, who the point guard's going to be, how they're going to move the ball up. And Salem, thank God, gave us a
second
return
chance
giveaway.
That's right.
So Lily George trying to go underneath to Raskow, and it went out. So Winterburn's going to inbound this for the Grizzlies. She's not getting any help. Throw it in. Meredith's got to throw it deep, and it's intercepted by Getz, and she puts it back up. So it's a third. Dodge tries to go back to Winterburn, and that was blocked by Raskow. Winterburn's going to inbound this again. And we're just getting beat doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Winterburn over to Dodge. That's over to Shannon. Into Brissett. Brissett back to Jenna. Shannon back to Winterburn. Winterburn with the ball. She's going to slow it down now. Winterburn's looking to try to move it in. Salem was out covering him.
Got lucky off her foot, yeah.
Yeah, off Reese's foot. Reese still. So I don't know how it's still our ball if it went off.
No,
Reese's
it went off the other girl's foot.
Oh. I'm glad one of us is paying attention.
Well, you got a lot to worry about. You have Al's little roster sheet in front of you.
Yeah, and of course we're having some technical issues here. First game of the season. I remember this happened last year too. The first game, trying to get the equipment and the kinks worked out.
5-second inbound call says turnover 4. You're 2 minutes in the game and you got fouls and turnovers.
Yep, 2 fouls, 4 turnovers.
Yep. Got to clean it up.
So here's Getz coming in for Salem. She's coming in on Dodge. Getz is out to George. Back over to Getz. And she thought about taking the shot, Mostow, and gives it over to Raskow. Got another one. Winterburn now is going to inbound this. Over to Dodge. Back to Winterburn. The Brissett. Shannon. Now Jenna Shannon's with it. Gives it to Reese. Reese back to Shannon. Back to Brissett. Brissett's working around. Salem's doing a good job of keeping Gus on the outside. Oh, Reese should have probably took that. Jenna Shannon fired one from the corner.
Good play by Meredith to save that ball. Comes our first sub of the game.
Yep, so it's going to be Addie Glazer. Addie's usually good under the basket with the rebounds. We count on her to do that. And she's got a little more height, so we need the height in there. Reese still tries to go to Morgan Dodge, but you got to shoot a little lower when you're going to Morgan. Went over her head. Another giveaway, Raskow. And she's going to draw the foul. So Getz drove it into the basket, got the 2 points, and now she'll make this a 3-point play.
Foul on Meredith. That was second one was on Meredith.
And that's going to get Meredith off the court. Peyton Duff.
Early in the game, huh?
2 fouls for Meredith. You don't want to see that in the first 3 minutes. So gets to the line to make this a 3-point play. Missed. Reese Still with the ball. Still double covered. Over to Duff. Duff tries to go, did get it to Dodge to Still. Glazer.
Good ball
back
movement.
to Shannon. Peyton Duff underneath. Salem comes away with the ball. Roscoe with it. She's going in and sunk another one. So 10-0 run for Salem.
Yeah,
I think the
timeout wouldn't hurt us
Gracie
there.
should be calling another steal, another giveaway. That time it was on Shannon. Well,
that's not a good start.
Well, now the fans know I was a little frustrated. It seems to be more of the same.
Yeah, well, there's 6 turnovers.
And 3 fouls.
And 3 fouls. And
our best player has got 2 of the 3.
And she's going to have to sit for an extended period now. And we're not taking care of the ball. You know, it's lollipop passes and, got to make a much stronger pass to your teammate.
Well, I think what you got to do, too, is find the open person. If you look, as you said, Salem does like the press, and they're pressing. But, I mean, when you're looking up and you see that there's, you want to go to Meredith or Morgan, you see there's 2 players on them. You got to look for the open player.
That's
Somebody's
right.
open if they're double covering and pressing. So we need everybody in the zone getting the ball. Peyton inbounds this to Glazer, but now Shannon ran herself into the sideline where she had no room to maneuver. Morgan Dodge comes down with that rebound, thank goodness, and then threw the ball up in the air, and it was stolen, and Mostow gets it. And again, there's no Grizzlies under our basket, so Lily George gets it and puts it up. 14-zip Salem. Reese, unfortunately a travel.
Grizzlies need to settle down, get a good stop here, and push the ball for a basket.
Yep. Any points would be good now. Lindsay Getz coming in. Clearly you can see Salem's sort of maturity is kicking in, so they're going to just take their time now. Getz is going to take a long 3. Went right. Addie Glazer comes down with that rebound. The Morgan Dodge. Morgan stopped. Went to Peyton Duff.
Oh.
Backcourt play. 5 turnovers.
That's 10 now.
10 turnovers already?
10.
10 turnovers, and we're not even 5 minutes into the...
No, not a stat we should be keeping, but...
We got to keep it. Long shot, the 3-point play by Lily George, and she hit it.
She's got a quick... Oh, that was a 3. She's got 7 already.
And another turnover. Shannon had it, tried to go to Morgan Dodge, and it was intercepted by Lindsay Getz, and she put her own thing in. Addie tries to go to Peyton, and it was intercepted again, so another turnover. Glazer again. Over to Shannon. Jenna Shannon. Getting... Yeah, we're being absolutely dominated.
Yeah.
Thing is, listen, Salem's a good team.
Very good team.
So there's no question about that. But they are not going to be one of the more dominant teams we're going to see.
No.
And, we have to get better. And that's it. I got Millis with the ball.
Can't give up 19 points in 5 minutes.
Yep. Winterburn trying to fight Getz for the ball. Getz very aggressive. Got it away. Ball over to Mostow. Back over to Lily George. Goes in for the layup around Reese Still. So that's a 21-0 run. Goffstown hasn't even gotten them any shots.
No.
So Millis to Reese. Back to Millis. Over to Peyton Duff. Peyton kicks it out to Winterburn. Reese Still. I think she's really got to start. She gets that ball. She's got to turn and go to the basket.
Take it to the basket here.
Yep. Now Millis caught on the outside again. Trying to go to Duff. Good play by Peyton Duff because that was almost stolen too. Millis tries to go up to Winterburn, but it was intercepted by Mostow, who brings it right down and lays one up. 23-0. Winterburn to Duff. Over to Reese Still. Still with the ball. Tries to go to Winterburn, and it
Got
was
lucky there.
almost intercepted by Lily George.
We've seen a lot of Grizzly games over the years. This is very uncharacteristic to see a 23-0 run by an opposing team. And no signs of life yet.
Yeah.
No signs.
You're right. And clearly frustration is starting to set in on the girls. So
yeah.
And you can understand it, but it's just basic mistakes. No. Okay. Duff with the ball. to Reese still. Back to Duff. Oh, that was almost thrown away. Reese had to reach for it. You gotta make that pass. You gotta hit it. You gotta hit your teammate in the numbers. Glazer with the ball. For some reason threw it right under the basket, but right to Salem Mostow. We stole it back. Glazer with the ball. Addie goes in. Over to Peyton Duff. Duff underneath. Out to Mia. Glazer almost threw it over Winterburn's head. Winterburn made the play. Go to the basket, Meredith.
Yeah. Got bailed out there.
Yeah, Meredith needed
2 on Lily George.
She needed to take a sharp left turn and just drive to the basket because she would have drew a foul probably. Minute 10 mercifully left in the first quarter. Winterburn, Glazer back to Winterburn. Meredith's going to take a 3-point shot off the rim. Peyton Duff and Getz fight for the rebound. George rather. George comes up with it. Lily George sends it over to a beautiful shot. Lily George just sunk that from 3 after Getz got her the ball. Meredith Winterburn. Meredith to Peyton Duff. Over to Glazer. Underneath to Winterburn. Oh, nice shot by Meredith.
But it was a good job by Meredith cutting to the basket. And that's the offense is really stalling because nobody's going to the basket. We're going to make 5 or 6 passes around the perimeter, but no one's looking to take it to the hole.
Yep. So we got Lily George working it down here with Salem, with Nunez, Val Nunez. Nunez with the ball. Coming in. Throws a layup, but underneath the basket again, Getz gets it. And now you got George taking another 3-point shot. Thank God she missed that one. Peyton Duff's got it. Duff comes up with the ball and threw it over to Nunez and Salem. Feeds Mostow down low, just off the rim. Should be a jump ball here. Quarter ended.
End of the quarter.
26-0. I don't think I've ever seen a shutout.
I don't think at the high school level, I've never seen a shutout like this at the varsity level.
I've certainly never seen it here in Goffstown. Certainly since we've been doing this broadcast.
I'm going to blame it on the table being on the wrong side of the scorer's bench.
Well, this is the side we wanted to be on. We wanted to be on our side. It is something to get used to, but what can be said? We are getting beat everywhere.
Every aspect of the game.
Yep. Yeah, but really what it comes down to is how many turnovers did we have?
16.
16 turnovers in one quarter. So that's why I think it was more than 30 that first night because this was sort of the pace we were on in South Nashua. Again, we cut back on it a little bit in Alvern,
Sasso,
Alvern, Mostow. Part of it is frustration. I feel what these girls are feeling right now. It's very hard. So Salem's going to inbound this to start the second quarter. And you're going to start with very good Lindsay Getz with the ball. Over to George. Back to Getz. Getz is scoping it out. Got Addie Glazer on her. Throws it out to Nunez. Back to, that was George taking the shot just off the rim. Morgan Dodge is coming away with it. Dodge looked like she wanted to go in, goes to the outside. Tries to do a quick handoff to Shannon, and it went off her and back into George. She made a pass behind the back, but Winterburn intercepted that one. So we have 17 giveaways. Shannon to Glazer. Glazer over to Reese Still. Still the Morgan Dodge. Dodge off the rim. And gets the ball. Threw it in. Now Burns has it. Just missed. Winterburn comes down with the rebound. Tries to feed Morgan Dodge, but it was intercepted by Mostow, who fed Getz, and Getz laid one up.
And Getz has 10 of the 28.
Yep. Winterburn stuck at midcourt. Fees Reese Still. Come on, Reese. Drive in. Winterburn back to Still. Went off Still. And
yeah, I mean,
out.
the two things we talked about. You got to drive to the basket. The other thing to do is Salem is playing great defense. They're up in your face, so you got to set a screen. Set a screen and roll to the basket. Make some contact with the defense, and we're just kind of going through the motions.
Well, they're taking advantage of the fact that our girls are really pushing now and afraid of every mistake.
Right.
It seems like every time Goffstown makes a mistake,
we go. That's
Salem's
a good
capitalizing.
cut.
Yeah, Winterburn took her time from the outside. Reese did the right thing by going driving to the basket, and then had a layup.
Yep.
Now Addie's going to take a foul here.
You know, regardless of what the score looks like right now, those are the type of things that you have to build on. It's the screen and roll. I think it's the Winterburn to Still kind of offense that we need to look at a little more often.
Yep, we need to see it a lot. All right, so Getz has the ball.
Shutout's over.
Oh yeah. And here's Getz taking a long three. Reese Still comes down with the rebound. Now drive it. Just go right to the basket. Reese, lay it up. Reese. Darling, just go. Meredith Winterburn. Winterburn back to Still. Back to Winterburn. Meredith is coming out. There's no communication. They don't seem to be talking. Shannon takes a long shot. A three. Hits a three from the outside.
Plenty of arc on that shot.
So Nunez now for Salem has the ball. Working it down past center court. Salem's taking their time. Good communication. They're calling the play. Nunez in the Getz. Getz out to Oliveira. Oliveira made a bad pass, but Mostow did a good job of keeping it. Nunez takes a long three. Almost hit it. Goes out. Oh.
Getting out rebounded here.
Yep. Getting out rebound badly. Getz has the ball. Over to
Gravel. Yeah, would they get 4 or 5 shots on this trip?
What's that?
I said they got 4 or 5 shots on that trip.
At least.
Offensive rebounds. And and I think one of the identities I'm looking for out of this team is we might not be the best team on the floor every night, but I'm not going to be out-hustled or outworked. And I haven't seen that yet by our Grizzlies.
Yes, you're right. Shannon's taking a long three, just in and out. Mostow comes up with the ball. She's going to work it down the court on the Grizzly end. That gets back to Mostow. That's the second time they called Olivia DeFresco for the travel. So Meredith here is going to inbound this. So here you go. You got Shannon coming down with the court with the ball. Back over to Winterburn. Winterburn's on the outside with Olivera on her. And again, another giveaway here. Gets intercepted the ball. Lays it up to Kaylee Oliveira, who's sunk it in. 30-5. O'Mara with the ball. Out to Getz. Addie Glazer. O'Mara.
Okay, go two. Okay, nose.
Jenna Shannon took a shot up near the nose here. So Peyton Duff's back out on the court. Winterburn's now going to inbound this for the Grizzlies. Works it into Millis. And it was
Swarming
intercepted
defense,
and taken away again by Mostow. Mostow put it up, and the Grizzlies came down with a rebound, rare rebound. Millis to Winterburn, long three, nice shot by Meredith. Oh, they're calling defensive.
Yeah.
So they're going to call that on Jocelyn O'Mara. So that's going to put Ella Mosta on the line. Reese Still's going to come back into the game. Ella's going to take her first shot. And she sunk that one.
First free throw made tonight.
Is it the first free throw?
Yeah. It's only the second one they took. They missed one, and Getz missed one on the and one play earlier.
Oh, yeah, okay. So Ellis takes her second one, and just off the rim, and Addie Glazer comes down with the rebound. Meredith Winterburn now working it down the court slowly. To Duff. Duff to Still. Reese turns. That's what I want to see her do.
Right.
I want to do that every time she gets to the basket. I think, I don't know, just to, like, what business do I have doing this, but just to put on my coaching hat, we need somebody else who can bring the ball down the court. We need Meredith up in the offensive zone, getting set up, organizing the offense. She cannot be bringing the ball down and trying to control the offense that way. We need some kind of a point guard who's going to be able to bring it down. They're counting on Meredith to really do almost too much.
Yeah. Need somebody to set the table and let Meredith and
do what she does.
Yeah,
right.
Reese do their thing.
So Reese Still, she sunk that one. So here we go. Salem's coming down. This is Murray with the ball. Murray turns, sends it into Ringwall. Over to Roscoe, back to Ringwall, and she went up with it, and the Grizzlies get a steal back. So now here's Winterburn bringing it down the court, over half court. Gives it to Reese Still. Again, no movement. Come on, Reese. Cut. Back to Winterburn. Back in the same spot. Winterburn working it down. Tries to go to Duff, and that was what happened. You had Nicole Ringdahl come right in and basically
rip it out
of Duff's hands, but they're
jump
call
ball. Yeah,
that was generous.
That was nice of them.
So Winterburn now with the ball, back to Morgan Dodge. Morgan's going to work it in slowly. Morgan did have a heck of a game.
Yeah, that last game.
Yeah, 21 points. I think that's a career high for her. Yeah, she hit at least 5 threes. Winterburn now with the ball. Oh. And they're going to call a foul on Morgan Roscoe. So Winterburn's going to inbound this. Salem took a foul. Oh. Here we go.
Doesn't look like we're in a hurry to do anything.
No. And it doesn't look like everybody knows the plays.
Yeah.
So Winterburn with the ball. Still back to Winterburn. Winterburn's trapped in the corner, and she finally had to, in kind of frustration, have to throw the ball off Michaela Burns to get it to go out of bounds so she could reset up. But you could see them. They called that play was Georgetown, and I'm guessing the play looked like it was for Morgan to go to half court, and she didn't. And Reese was supposed to be further back, and she didn't. And so as a result, that never got off the ground. So now you got Murray over to Getz, and then three-pointer by Michaela Burns. That was a 2?
It was 2.
So two-pointer, 34-9. Blue number 5, so that would be Ringdahl. So Meredith is going to inbound this here for the Grizzlies. And okay, over to Gabby Mellis. Over to Morgan. Morgan Dodge with it. She stopped dribbling. Why? can't do that. Morgan's going to take a 3 from Vaughn's corner. And just missed that.
Rebound by Addie.
Glazer comes down with the rebound and puts it right back up. So Glazer gets it.
Yeah, Addie's one of those players that can get some rebounds and get some of those baskets inside.
Addie's good. She's a good hustler. I like Addie. Glazer underneath the basket. Very aggressive. Winterburn throws it out to Morgan Dodge. Dodge stopped. I want to see her keep going. Why are they stopping? Winterburn puts one up. Glazer again.
Oh,
We're
right
just
place
talking
at the
about
right
her.
time.
2 rebounds. Almost just missed, but she's going to go to the line. Number 5. That's Nicole Ringdahl again. That put Glazer on the line. Yeah, I mean, too often it seems the Grizzlies are getting it and then stopping.
Yeah.
Got to just a bit more aggressive drive to the basket.
Yeah, it's take 1 dribble or 2 dribbles and stop. And all that does is really shut your offense down. Dribble with a purpose, cut to the basket, look for an open teammate.
Well, not only that, Winterburn threw that out to Morgan, so Morgan theoretically was almost like on a breakaway. By stopping like that, you're allowing Salem to get back.
Correct.
And set up defensively. Where if she drove to the basket, you might have forced a foul, gave yourself a better shot, or you catch somebody coming in late. Anyway, Getz with the ball, out to Ringdahl, but she went out of bounds with that. So this should be the Grizzlies' ball. They're going to take it back out. And again, Salem's pressing, and we'll see how this works out. All right, coming back for the ball. Addie Glazer, back to Winterburn. Winterburn fires it down to Morgan Dodge. Morgan kicks it out to Reese. And Meredith's going to take a long 3. That had a nice arc. That looked nice. I thought that was going in.
That was deep, though.
Yep. I don't mind the shot.
No.
Considering the
Good
score
shot.
and the situation we're in. Time. Oh, almost a steal by Addie Glazer. Long 3 by Amelia Murray. She almost got it. They're going to call Glazer for a foul here. That's going to be her second.
Yeah. Some discrepancy in the team fouls, it looks like.
Well, I don't know. Long shot by Raskow.
All right, we're halftime.
Thank God. All right, 34-11. Okay. Well, it's fair to say since we got shut out in the first quarters, second quarter we looked a little better.
Yeah. but there wasn't much room to go south. We couldn't get much worse. It was a rough first quarter.
First half.
16 turnovers in that first quarter. I mean, you and I said we never seen a shutout like this. I've never seen 16 turnovers in a varsity level game in one quarter. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot for a game.
It is a lot for a game. Yeah, so we'll get a drink at halftime and then come back and –
yeah, but I think I'm going to get something stronger than water.
We'll see what the snack stand has.
All right. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be back for second half, well, let's say second half play rather than action, and we'll see where we're at. All right. So we're tidying out.
Culinary Skills and Procedures is a basic introductory course on how to use basic whole foods to expand your culinary or family consumer science horizons. Hopefully, when the semester class is over, you will be able to cook for yourself using whole foods, potatoes, rice, pastas, vegetables, desserts, and also we get into some purchasing of foods, some sanitation and food handling. In family consumer science, there's a lot of different career fields. It's recalled in the hospitality industry, from a line cook to working in fast foods to managing a restaurant to franchising and owning your own restaurant to working in menu design, accounting. There's such a large amount of spider webs that come off the family consumer science culinary skills and procedure class. It really can take you in a lot of different directions. I think what's unique to my class is we are very, very hands-on. You will be cooking in my class just about 80% of the time that you're in class. You will be in the labs cooking, preparing. We're in the department, we're a firm believer that you learn by doing. So at the beginning of class, I will show you a recipe, we'll discuss the recipe, we'll talk about it, and then you will prove that you understood the concept by doing. So the student gets immediate gratification or feedback of what they've done in class because they enjoy and eat their food at the end of class that they prepared. Feet on the floor, back straight, never bow over your plate. Chew with your mouth closed, chew with your mouth closed. Get those elbows off the table. This ain't no horse's stable, but a respectable dining room table. GHS, take creative foods in family consumer science or culinary skills and procedures.
Did you know Sandeep Parikh, an American writer, director, actor, and producer of comedy, is a Goffstown High School alumni?
The Goffstown Shuttle is a comfortable and easy way for Goffstown residents to secure transportation for a variety of needs, and it's completely free. The Manchester Transit Authority is pleased to partner with the town of Goffstown to provide curb-to-curb transportation to the residents of Goffstown. We strive to bring an enjoyable riding experience that helps those in need of transportation. All Goffstown residents are welcome to utilize the Goffstown Shuttle, completely free of charge. Everything from getting groceries to needing a ride to medical appointments, Goffstown Shuttle has you covered. All buses are ADA accessible and people of all ages are welcome. Priority will be given to those over the age of 62 as well as those going to medical appointments. You are welcome to bring someone along for the ride if you would like to have a family member or friend with you. Passenger destinations are permitted within Goffstown and for medical appointments in Goffstown, Manchester, and Bedford. You can also gain access to any destination on the MTA system by connecting to Route 6 at the Shaw's Plaza. The MTA and Goffstown are looking forward to meeting your transportation needs. Give us a call now to schedule your first ride.
You're watching Grizzly Basketball.
Welcome back, Grizzly fans, and we're here live from the Grizzly Den on a rare Thursday night, and I am going to put a complaint into the league. I never want to play a home game on a Thursday night again.
You don't like Thursday nights?
Not if this is going to be the pattern.
Yeah.
Thoroughly dominated up and down. We were talking here during the break, and really very few positives to take out of the first half. But 34-11. So what do we do there, Coach, to climb back into this?
Well, number one, as we mentioned in the pregame, we got to take care of the ball. We can't afford to give away the ball.
21 times first half.
I mean, they're on pace. Like I said, they average 67 a game, so they're right on pace for their average. We're not on our average. We're at 11, and we average about 50. So we can't give the ball away. I think at this point you just got to mentally wipe the scoreboard away. It's 0-0, and let's start over. And go out, and hopefully at the beginning of this third quarter you can make a few stops.
Stop giving the ball away.
Stop giving it away. And I said we need that identity we're looking for somebody to show us a little aggression, somebody to show us some oomph.
Not violence, Morgan.
Not violence.
I know Morgan Dodge is going to watch this. Not violence, Morgan.
So get aggressive, whether that's on the offensive rebounding, defensive, let's push the ball. Let's get some easy baskets. So we'll see. Hats off to the Salem team. We knew coming in that they were very good, well coached. They moved
very
the ball
disciplined.
well.
They didn't take a lot of fouls, and
No.
we took less fouls in the second quarter than we did the first. We did technically outscore them in the second quarter, 11-7.
Yeah,
but clearly still not a lot to be optimistic about. Salem also let up a little bit and got their bench in there. So now you got Getz with the ball for Salem, working it in. And so you'd like to see more communication with the Goffstown team, too. Peyton Duff.
Yeah, and you want to
she leaned into Burns, and that went out of bounds.
You want to string a couple good things together, and hopefully you can make a positive impact.
Right. We need some
called a block. That could have gone either way.
Yeah. So Jenna Shannon got knocked down, but I guess in the ref's eyes, she'd never feet down.
Feet.
She did get her seat down after
eventually she did.
After she was hit. So here we go, Salem working it in, and it was a sort of a missed dribble, but somehow, I don't know, I thought it went off Burns, but somehow Salem retains the ball. George into Getz, back to George. George goes right to the basket, tried to do the layup, missed. Kicked it out to Mostow. She missed the shot, but Getz gets the rebound again. We're out-hustled underneath.
Yep.
This is where we miss Addie Glazer. She should be out there getting more time, I think. Reese Still over to Winterburn. Winterburn with the ball. Tries to feed Mia Brissette. Mia, unfortunately, lost control, and it was picked up by Mostow. Ella works her way in. Burns goes in to get it away from her. Ella hangs on to it to Getz. Over to Burns. Burns goes in to get her underneath. 2 times in a row, Mostow out-hustled both Winterburn and Brissette for that rebound.
Salem back to the press.
Yep. Winterburn with the ball. Out to Shannon. Shannon into Brissette to Shannon. Takes a long 3. Off the rim. Out to Mostow. Mostow into Lily George. George fires it into Roscoe. That just went out.
Here comes Addie, just
Here
like
comes
you
Addie.
said.
Yep. So she's going to go in for Mia Brissette.
Yeah, I like Addie and Reese down low on offense and defense.
I agree. I think Addie Glazer's really hustle and off the rebound. Of course, as I said that, went off her, but she kept it in. Good job.
Right on cue.
Oh, nice play by Reese. Still, the Morgan dodge underneath. Long shot by Shannon. Meredith Winterburn gets the rebound over to Morgan Dodge. Morgan fires 3. Here's Getz, sends it into George. Lily George underneath the Getz, just wide. Addie Glazer comes down to rebound. A little more control with Addie out there. Reese still go to the
double dribble. Now she promised you she'd take it to the basket.
Yes, we mentioned at halftime. I want Reese to drive to the basket, take the shot.
Salem's going to take a quick 30-second timeout.
So still needs to take the shot, drive to the basket.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's tough for a sophomore to think that I'm going to take charge, but she's going to have to. She's going to have to.
If we want to be in these games, she's going to have to. Yeah. So, listen, I know all the girls watch the games afterwards. They critique themselves. They critique us. We hear about it. Hopefully, Reese will see this. And she had a few feet to go in. She could have drove that right in, and she either would have had an easy layup or Salem would have been forced to foul her because they would have.
It's not a selfish move. It's what I need to help do to make this team better.
Right. You can't stop. Nobody was going to have a better shot than her.
No, exactly.
Oh. Nice call Addie. There. I like the foul, though. Went into Ella Mostow. So that's her 3rd.
Correct.
Ella's going to the line. This will be the 2nd time I think she's gone to the line. So she'll get 2. So 38-14. And Jocelyn O'Mara's coming in, most likely for Addie Glazer. Ella takes the shot, missed. She only got 1? Yeah. Was that and 3?
The basket went in.
Oh, it did. Okay. I lost track. Travel.
Double dribble.
So Glazer comes off, and O'Meara comes in. So here we go. We got Winterburn here. Going to inbound this. It went out to Jenna Shannon, to Reese, to Shannon. Shannon over to O'Meara. It went off her. Oh, she kept it in. Good job. And look at her. She's driving to the basket. She should have kept going and take the shot.
Yeah.
Kicks it out to Reese. Reese takes a long shot. Just missed. Ella Mostow's got it. Driving right to the basket. Over Reese still. Put it up. Missed, but she got her own rebound. It still gets the foul. So now her sister Dana's coming in for her.
Yeah.
14's not on the court. 14 is not on the court. Wait, who was that foul on?
Yeah, there was a little mix-up here at the gym.
Yeah.
Al announced Glazer to get the foul. She has enough, and she's on the bench.
She's on the bench.
So she wouldn't get another foul. It was the first one in Reese still. So Reese is going to come off, and her sister is going out for her. Dana still. Mostow to the line again, taking her 2nd shot. And just missed that. Winterburn comes down with the rebound. Winterburn working it over half court. To Jenna Shannon. Back to Winterburn, but not hard enough, and it was intercepted as a result. Intercepted by George, given the Getz, and Getz thinks the easy layup. And Shannon tries to go for another pass to Dana still. And down. Trying to rust that pass, I think, This is where the lack of experience comes up.
Yeah, because you're trying to rush it. You're trying to make a. Oh, you're trying to really push your team and do better, do more, and you just got to take care of one basket at a time, one possession at a time.
Right. Morgan Dodge out to Meredith Winterburn. Into O'Mara, back to Winterburn. Winterburn drive around the outside. Again, Salem's doing a good job of keeping the Grizzlies to the outside. We're not getting enough action under the basket. O'Mara tries to drive in, and she got tripped up. I think their feet got tangled up. Lily George.
3 on her.
Yeah. That's her first?
Third.
I thought he said first.
You can't understand that all the time, can you?
Well, you can't always tell. Well, these headphones, unfortunately, on mine are not. Can't hear any sound with them. George coming down the court. Threw it up to Raskow. Raskow fouls. Glazer comes back in for O'Mara. So here's Winterburn. Inbounds to Peyton Duff. Back to Winterburn. Out to Morgan Dodge. Dodge comes in and threw it back to Winterburn, but it was intercepted by Getz. And Addie, unfortunately, committed a foul from the floor.
That'll be her 4th.
Yep. So she drove it out on Mostow. What are we up to for fouls in this quarter?
That's 5. It's 5. They should be shooting.
Oh, that's going to bring Salem to the line?
Yeah. That's a rule change this year for girls high school basketball. It mirrors the college rule where 5 in a quarter you're shooting in bonus.
Yep. There's a long way left to go, too. Yeah, we're already letting them go to the line. This isn't good. So Ella, I'm going to take a shot here. Just missed the first one. Jenna Shannon's going to come back in for Morgan Dodge. I think Morgan's in a little bit of discomfort. I think. So Ella Mostow is going to take her second shot. And that just went right, too. Ooh, Winterburn made a good play to send it to Peyton Duff. Tried to feed to Reese.
That's Dana.
Yep.
Her sister, Dana.
Oh, yeah, Dana still.
They look similar with their hair pulled back like that.
They look, you definitely cannot mistake them for sisters.
No.
I mean, you know they're sisters. They're not twins, but they look a lot alike. Yep. Peyton Duff. Peyton Duff working her way around the Winterburn. Winterburn with the ball.
Oh, jeez.
Dana tried to do a good block.
Yeah, she set a good screen and got
fouled. Set a good screen, but they're going to. So as a result, the foul went to go to Mostow. So Winterburn here is going to inbound it right in front of Rob. Winterburn looks, throws it back court to Jenna Shannon. Shannon now with the ball, works it over mid-court. She's got Getz on her. Over to Dana still. Dana looked up, and unfortunately Getz took it right away from her, went in for the layup. So another turnover. Lily Shannon with the ball now. Tries to work her way around. Got it out to Brissett. Brissett kicks it out to Dana still. Dana takes a three. It was a good shot.
Yeah, I like
missed.
that shot.
Yep. Getz sends it down court. She was trying to feed Thompson. Thompson got a piece of it, but it went off her, so it should be Grizzly ball. So Dana Still and Peyton Duff come off. O'Mara and McDonald are back in. So Shannon works her way down the court, feeds Meredith Winterburn. Winterburn with the ball. Kicks it out to Shannon. Shannon takes a long three off the rim.
Shannon's had some good shots tonight.
Yep. Went outside to Mostow, though. Mostow comes in, drives it right in, and, of course, draws the foul. This is exactly what we want the Goffstown Grizzlies to do more of. Ella did it. So, like you said, it's, I guess, a difference in the maturity there,
Yeah.
right? Ella's been around a little while. We remember her from last year or 2 years ago, too.
Yeah.
I think she's, what, junior? Is she junior or
I
senior?
don't know. Sinks the free throw.
Ella Mostow is a senior this
Yeah.
year. Yep, and it shows. Yep. Winterburn here has the ball in the Shannon. To O'Mara. O'Mara made a good play. Kicks it out to Winterburn. Takes a three. Like the shot right off the rim.
Yeah.
Oh, Winterburn's going to get another foul here. She went in a little hard on Lily George.
3.
So that'll put Salem back on the line.
Yeah, we got to quit the fouls. I mean, we still got two minutes to go here.
And we're only 34 down.
Well, every foul is free throws.
That's right. And like I said, we're only 34 down. So
We're trying to milk the
Reese
clock.
still is going to come back in the game, and we need Reese has promised me that she's going to take at least 10 more shots. So here comes Reese back in. So she's going to sub for Mia Brissett. Well, Lily George is going to take her second shot, and she sunk that one. Winterburn. Again, I don't think it's the best choice to have Winterburn keep inbounding.
Yeah, I would like to see somebody else.
Because I'd rather have the ball be going to Winterburn than Winterburn throwing it away to somebody else. And there was a steal, as you got to predict what's going to happen. So now that's going to put him on the line again. Then we'll just have Meredith inbound it again, and somebody else will get rid of it and do another one.
Yeah, I like putting Meredith in the core to play on the inbound play.
Exactly. Here's Getz. Misses the first one.
I mean, the rule of thumb most of the time when a coach does that, puts their better player on the inbounding the ball, is that they're going to get the ball back because they're going to double team the inbound pass. But we're having such a hard time getting it in sometimes.
Right.
I would consider moving her.
Well, they just did. O'Mara hit it into Winterburn, and now, of course, it flowed right out the way it's supposed to. Here's Reese. Still out to O'Mara. O'Mara's going to drive to the basket, and good shot. I like the shot.
Yep.
I'm not going to criticize that one.
No, she took it hard to the basket, turn and shoot.
Now you got Mostow coming in.
It's a little victory.
Kicked that out to Thompson, to Nunez. Back out to Mostow. Takes a long three. It went off Shannon's hands, but ended up going to O'Loughlin. Out to Getz to Nunez. Nunez drives in. Sort of chucked it over everything, and Shannon came down with this rebound. So Shannon's calling out a play to Reese Still. Reese just turned and drive, but she passed it off to McDonald. McDonald to O'Mara. She step out of bounds?
No, foul on O'Loughlin.
Okay. So Winterburn's going to inbound this. Again, I'd rather have Winterburn out in the court.
Yeah.
So
the pass to Reese.
But Reese Still. Good play. That worked out well. But you would like to have somebody inbounding it where they have the option of either Still or Winterburn. Nunez kicks it out to O'Loughlin, who put it up. So now you got Winterburn. Send it down to Reese Still over half court. Meredith Winterburn went back to her, but she lost control of it here. I'd like to see Reese. She's got to dribble it a little more. Like she got the pass, never even bounced it. Just waited for Winterburn. Nunez over to Getz. Getz is having a heck of a game.
Oh, yeah.
She's playing very well for Salem. And Mostow goes in and fight underneath the basket for Winterburn. They're going to call it jump ball.
Yeah, I would say Getz, George, and Mostow are exactly what we thought they would be.
Yep.
They're a very good three.
And this is what we've been spotting in this team because we've seen these players coming up now for a while.
Yep.
You know.
They've just really matured and.
Yep. So another foul. Are they adding? They don't add to the 5 once it's at 5.
Once it's
They
at
stop.
5, yeah.
So what? Well, we're up to like 8 now, right?
At least
8 or 9. Or
I need another
10?
pencil.
So that's what I mean. The foul. So Laughlin hits the first one. (53-16), and Mostow came and got the rebound, sent it out to Thompson,
just
and
manhandling us down
Thompson's got it again and puts it up.
Be their
To
5th
Getz,
shot on
to
this
Nunez, to Mostow. Mostow tries to go in. Winterburn stopped there. Getz gets the rebound. Now in the Thompson.
possession. Thank God the clock ran out. They can't
Yes,
shoot anymore.
Salem got the
they
ball.
had six chances on that one.
Yep, because we cannot get the rebound. And the pattern is Addie Glazer couldn't be out there because she's up to 4 fouls.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we might have been able to come down with 1 or 2 of those rebounds. But so this is where we're at, 53-16. So it's a nail biter.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to think of something positive to say here.
Good luck.
Well, offensively, it's not been good. Defensively, it's not been good. Been out hustled to a very good team. Again, I don't want to take anything away from Salem because they are very good.
Yeah, no, it is.
But we've made them look really good tonight.
Yes, we made them look like Bedford.
Yes.
And what I am worried about is we have to play Bedford. They're out of our schedule.
Yeah.
And if we don't start playing better, well, the clocks only can go to double digits. I don't know what happens when you hit 99.
No.
Do they start at 0 again and work their way up?
I don't know. And do they have in the high school rule if it's a 30-point lead? I think the clock runs in the fourth quarter. I think
fourth quarter. What about the second half?
I can't do anything about that. Yeah.
Don't want to put it down too much, but this is it's just ugly. So.
Yep.
Meredith Winterburn's going to inbound this for the Grizzlies to start off the fourth quarter. Shannon now with the ball. Shannon coming in, Nunez on her. Out to Reese still. Reese, dribble it in, go to the basket. No, O'Mara. O'Mara to Peyton Duff. Duff takes a long 3. It was a good shot. Just went off the rim, kicked out to Thompson. Thompson back to Mostow. To Getz, to Nunez, takes the 3. Another good shot off the rim, but underneath it's who gets the rebound? It's Mostow. And I think Shannon's getting called for.
Yeah.
It's her third. So Mostow, obviously Mostow's on the line. She sinks the first one. Ella's going to take another shot here. And off the rim, Winterburn comes away with it. Winterburn with the ball. Comes over half court. She's got Mostow on her. Feeds Reese still. Back to Winterburn.
I like that little give and go play.
I do like the give and go. Mostow underneath. Oh, she tried to feed that over to O'Laughlin. And it went off O'Mara. So it should be Salem possession. And Getz is going to inbound this to McLaughlin. We're at Nunez now. Nunez with the ball to Thompson. Back to Getz. Getz is going to take a 3. Off the rim. Rebound once again.
Yeah.
O'Laughlin. Mostow feeds O'Laughlin underneath. 2 Grizzlies on her, but she kicks it out to Thompson. Duff comes down with the rebound to Winterburn. Addie Glazer, thank God, is coming back in. Winterburn to Reese still. Oh. Reese threw it too far behind O'Mara. O'Mara made a good play to keep it in, but unfortunately Salem gets the ball back. Laughlin with the ball to Getz. O'Laughlin.
Oh, another foul.
That's 4 for Jenna
4
Shannon.
For Jenna, yeah.
So Well, like we were saying, this is where the ball. Of course, there's frustration kicking in now, so now you're seeing more of the fouls, and Salem, of course, sees the opportunity to get some points. So Morgan Dodge and Glazer are coming back in. Jenna Shannon and Jocelyn come off. Jocelyn O'Meara.
Didn't hit the rim, so we get the ball back.
So Meredith Winterburn's going to inbound this to Morgan Dodge. Back to Winterburn. Out to Still. Again,
there we go.
There you go. Drive.
That's all we want. That's all we want.
That's exactly what we've been telling her the whole game. Drive to the basket, get the foul. So that'll put Reese on the line. It's good to see us on the line for a change.
I know.
We haven't had too many opportunities.
We haven't had too many points.
Well, that's
total
true, too.
We're at 16.
Okay, just off the rim. So Reese will get her second shot. Trying to make this game a little tighter. Reese puts it up. Off the board. Winterburn comes down with the rebound. The Duff. Duff cuts around ring wall and went to the basket. Took a good shot. Winterburn.
Good fight
for the rebound. Yeah, little fight in here for a Ringdahl. And there's going to be a jump ball. Salem will retain possession. So looks like Goffstown's going to press well, it's a soft press. Why bother? Okay, so Ringdahl brings
Got
it
some
in.
new names in here for you.
Yep. Laughlin out to Nunez. Nunez around, tried to go around Meredith Winterburn. Winterburn comes over the top, swatted it away. She looked like the old Charles Barkley doing that. Whack!
Get it out of here.
Yeah, you ain't gonna keep.
30-second time.
Meredith hit that ball so hard it went all the way down the hall towards the office.
It's
out
in Frank McBride's office by now.
It took a little while to get that one back. So there's a timeout. Salem?
Salem, yeah.
Yep. Salem timeout.
Well, Coach Oliver's got, a lot of girls in there that don't see time. You want to give them quality minutes, and what he does such a good job in this program is really building them up so that it almost replaces each other. Every year they go through. They got their next batch of kids. They're all, if you look at them, they're all very similar height. They're not outstandingly tall anywhere. They're athletic. They pass the ball. They shoot. They go for rebounds.
A lot of hustle.
Yeah, hats off to him.
Yep. Well, like I said, Ricky Oliver has a nice program out there in Salem. Nunez took a long shot. I don't know how that did not go in.
Yeah.
It did everything but go in. It went right around the rim. Winterburn here with the ball. She's working it down. Tries to get Reese Still. She's directing traffic out there. Over to Duff. Duff kicks it back out to Winterburn. Winterburn back on top here. Over to Still. I want to see Still drive to the basket, but she gives it out to Morgan Dodge to Winterburn. Winterburn takes the shot off the rim. Glazer went for the rebound along with a Salem player. It was a challenge for that. Went out of bounds. Salem going to inbound this. Who just came in? Morgan Dodge comes off, and Gabby Mills comes in. So you got Murray with the ball now for Salem. She almost drove it straight down. Little travel from Shea O'Laughlin. That's an Irish name.
Yeah.
Here you go. You got Meredith Winterburn. So she's working it over midcourt. Fake to Addie Glazer. Winterburn drives right to the basket. Just missed the layup. Glazer, of course,
probably
comes down with the rebound.
Probably the best shot we got all night.
That's right. Of course, Glazer got the rebound.
Yes, she did.
It's predictable. Glazer's steady. I mean, you want to see her. The thing is, I don't want to take away from her aggression, because that's part of what makes her good. But the thing is, if she gets into foul trouble and we got to take her out, then it hurts.
It does.
because as far as rebounding goes, I think she's probably the best we have out there.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Meredith, but it's right up there. So Peyton Duff comes off.
Maddie Giordano's in
Giordano's
first time,
yep,
yeah.
Maddie, yep. Maddie's, I think, a swing player, I believe.
Yeah.
Plays JV and varsity. So here's Glazer inbounding it for Meredith Winterburn. Winterburn's going to work it over court. Call the play. Play's been called. Reese Still with the ball. Drive, shoot it. That's what we want to see Reese do. Just off the rim.
Yeah, but you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Reese on the opposite side of the floor. So when she turns, she's dribbling with her
on
right
her strong
hand.
side.
Right, correct.
Yep. See, I'm catching on, Rob.
You're
I'm learning from you.
You're getting there.
It takes me 3 years, but I actually pick up a thing every now and then. I am living proof a blind squirrel will find a nut every once in a while. So Meredith's up to 4 fouls, and that's going to put Nicole Ringdahl on the line. First shot, nice shot, sinks it. Ringdahl hits them both. So she made them both count. Winterburn now works her way over the halfway court, mid-court, over to Reese Still. Oh, Still looked. And she's going to draw a foul on Nunez. Nope. She drew it on number 10, O'Leary. Highly. So that's going to put Still on the line for the second time. And that she hits the first one. Catherine's working her way into the game for the first time. Catherine Jones. She'll replace Glazer. Another girl with height. She also is a swing player from the JV team. And, she had that for a second. She got her hand on it. The Francesco out to Murray. Murray to Nunez. Nunez directing traffic up top. Kicks it in down low. Now out to Ringdahl. Takes a long shot. And Maddie Giordano comes down with the rebound and feeds Meredith Winterburn. Winterburn over mid-court. Winterburn drives into the basket for the layup. Just missed. Unfortunately, Salem comes down with the rebound. So Nunez now to Murray. To Ringdahl. Takes a long three. Reese Still got that rebound and feeds Winterburn. Winterburn's looking around. She's trying to drive in. I think you could see, too, Rob Meredith really trying to do everything.
Yeah.
So, and that's really hard. That's going to...
Yeah, and I think the players are standing and watching her.
Yes.
And unfortunately, she can't take this team on her shoulders every play.
Right. Yeah. Well, not only that, it doesn't take long for the other team to catch on. Well, if you've got a number 21, apparently she's going to pass to herself and do it. So, I think we, in the past, and we talked about it in the pregame. We talked about it in our preseason show, and it's been brought up a lot how we've gone from 1,000-point player to another, and I think sometimes we've been in plenty of games where we've witnessed it, where sometimes we'll say that other girls were guilty of watching people like a Maggie Sassa or a Kelly Walsh or an Ava Winterburn, and you can't help but to watch them. And I think that's a little bit what happens with this team too, with Meredith.
Yeah.
And so the final score is 59-17. So 41 points. That's the biggest difference I can remember in a game.
Yeah, I haven't seen a Goffstown game like this before.
Yeah, ever.
No, and they get some time. Regular season, they're off till the new year. I think they are playing in the Christmas tournament. Is that what the girls said?
I don't know if they are this year.
I thought they were. We'll find out with Coach. But The next regular season game will be January 3rd at Timberlane, and then they're at Concord Christian. So it's back-to-back on the road after that. So.
Right. But they're going to need the time off to reorganize. Hopefully they can get a little practice time in there, too.
Yeah, there's plenty of things they're going to work on. There won't be a lack of things on the agenda items.
Right. Yep.
No.
So we're going to probably do, I think, probably one interview today.
We're going to do coach and then one player?
Yeah. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Probably Meredith.
Yes.
We'll have to talk to her, get her assessment as the sort of the captain, leader of the team.
That's right.
We'll spare the other girls from talking about this. And
yeah, you'll be in a bad mood. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to have Reese over here.
Well,
she finally took it to the basket.
Oh, well, unfortunately, because of our headphone situation, we can't do the rose between two thorns.
That's
so
right.
It'll be one rose and one thorn, and Meredith will be the rose. So we'll go from there. So we're gonna tune out, and we'll be back in for our after game interviews. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're back at the Grizzly Den live, and we're going to call it the rose between one thorn.
Rose next to one thorn?
Rose next to a thorn. Due to it's early in the season, just like last year, we did have some problem with equipment, so we only have one set of headphones working. So I'm here live with Meredith Winterburn, and it's hard. I appreciate you even doing the interview. I was thinking with Rob, I'm like, you know what? One of these times these girls are going to come out and say, screw you, I don't want to do it. So here we are. Wasn't pretty tonight.
No, not at all.
So tell me, what do you take as any positives out of this game as far as a learning experience, if nothing else?
Yeah, Coach Bracey was able to get a lot of players in that didn't get to get in the first two games just because of how competitive and how fast they were. So it was really good to get some girls rotated in and getting them some varsity experience so that they are going to be able to rise to that challenge when they can go in later in the season, next games, and things like that. I also think that the adversity is something we face really early in the season, but I think through all three of these games, they're only making us better, and it's going to make it a lot easier when we face those less competitive, easier teams towards the end of the season.
Okay. Let me ask you this. I mean, one thing that's painfully obvious to point out, because I was at both the road games and now tonight, and it's uncharacteristic for a Goffstown team. What can we do about the turnovers? The turnovers have been dreadful, and that's really hurt us. And it starts off by putting us behind the eight ball, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't have to tell you that. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, it's really difficult when you have a younger team who's, I wouldn't say not varsity experience, just not as varsity experience. I mean, I started out my freshman year, but I had a lot of role models to play in the shadow of, and I didn't have to kind of face all of this pressure and things that early, and I know our younger players do, and so they have to kind of adjust a little bit quicker. Like, as the turnovers go, like, I don't know what the word for it, but, like, technically we should be really fixing it just by being patient, being more patient, going towards that ball, making crisper passes, but it really comes with just helping out your teammates and kind of playing for your teammates. A big thing we talked about in the locker room, it's really just, this isn't a game about it's a game about us, and the turnovers are generated because we're not helping each other out, honestly. So, again, though, we're young. It's something that I was exposed to as a lot easier, but these girls are going to have to kind of pick it up a little bit quicker.
Yeah, because clearly that's it. And then, unfortunately, when you have the turnovers, then it leads to us being behind. And, of course, it leads to frustration. Then you start getting into foul trouble. And even you got into a little foul trouble because that's been another thing this year with a lot of the fouls.
Yeah.
So when you guys are in the locker room, it was a long time after this game. I mean, are we addressing the foul
Yeah,
situation?
for sure. We are. It's really just – there's always a lot of fouls that come at the beginning of the season. You know, we have a couple girls that play AAU. You know, they don't call anything in AAU, but it's a lot just kind of like fouling is like trying to save yourself. So we shouldn't put ourselves in that position to begin with where we need to foul, myself included, of course. But we're really just trying to clean it up at practice so that it translates into the game like that.
All right. So you got a little break now. Rob and I weren't sure. Are you guys playing in a Christmas tournament?
Yeah, we're at Central this year, 27, 28, 29, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
playing Lebanon early, and then it's bracket play from there, so we don't know who will play in the second and third games.
All right. So it will give you a little bit of time to
Yep.
come together. And I'm assuming, is there going to be time to do some practices in there?
Of course.
Because we need the workout.
I agree. We really just got to bring it at practice. Hopefully it will this will be a wake-up call for us, and we can translate some better practicing into some better games.
Right. All right. Listen, I thank you for doing the interview.
Of
I
course.
wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy
as
New
well.
Year.
Merry
you know I love
Christmas.
your family, so that's
Hi, Dad.
good. Yeah.
Sorry,
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Yeah, we miss you. Anyway, the rose next to the thorn, that'll conclude this episode, and we'll see everybody next year. Stay tuned for Coach's Corner coming up next. Thank you.
Well, welcome back, Grizzly fans, to our inaugural Coach's Corner, and the first one for Coach Bracey.
Hey, I'm here.
Welcome. Thanks for doing the interview.
Of course.
A rough night.
Yes.
Let's get down to business. What I think we got behind early.
Yeah, we definitely we made mistakes against their pressure early, and we acted as if we didn't know what we were supposed to do against the press. And then I think we just compounded that, right? We got out of the game mentally, and then kind of steamrolled on us.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, and I didn't get to the Alvern game. I watched it online, but we were at the Nashville South game where I thought there were some mistakes in that South game. But the Alvern game, it seemed like we were able to overcome some mistakes and hit some big shots. And play through that. And tonight just looked like that rough start in the beginning, and then we
kind of collapsed on it.
Yeah.
So in the Alvern game was a much different version of us. So the energy and the effort that we had in the Alvern game was a 180 what we saw today. So unfortunate to see that one come right after it. And quick turnaround, but we got to be better than that.
Yeah, and these are the things you can't really prepare for. You can talk X's and O's and strategy, but now you have emotions.
Yep.
They get down on each other. And that's going to happen. So you got your work cut out for you. We believe in you. We trust you. It'll all work out. Let's talk about what we see in. You told us in the preseason, Reese.
Yeah.
I think Reese is somebody who still doesn't understand all of her talents yet.
I would agree. And she doesn't realize how much of an advantage she has on the court once she gets the ball in her hand yet. And she's getting there.
Yeah.
If you compared where she was last year to this year, so far, I think she's much more comfortable with the ball in her hands. When she takes it to the rack, she gets the look we want.
Yeah.
And this summer she was doing that too. So she's going to keep improving.
Yeah.
The looks are going to still be there. It's going to be hard to figure out how we play that teammate game, right? So I think we've got the opportunity to get her in space.
I do too, and I thought Addie gave some really good minutes outside of her foul trouble. But she attacks the boards.
Yeah, she honestly that was my biggest pet peeve today was we were watching the rebounds.
Yeah.
So, we had one. We need 4 more.
Right.
Well, maybe we had 2 or 3, but we need more than that, right? It was not enough.
And I said to Bob during the broadcast is, there are nights where you're gonna not play your best. You're gonna get beat. Somebody's gonna be better than you, but to not give your full effort on every play and go after loose balls, offensive rebound. I mean, there were times where they were getting 6 and 7 shots.
It's really, really hard to beat a team if you're going to let them shoot that many times.
Absolutely. If you give somebody 7 shots, they're probably going to make 1.
At some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1. All right, so we got 3 games behind us now. We go into a little bit we don't jump back until the new year.
Third, yeah. We have a
season.
tournament over the vacation week, which hopefully will get us some confidence and string something together.
Yeah, give us a couple things and maybe you'll work on and practice in these tournament games.
I think so. Realistically, our defense needs to get better. We're still putting that new system in. I thought on Tuesday we weren't perfect, but we looked a lot better. Today we were all out of our heads, so maybe burn the tape on this one and go back to the basics on it. But need to improve on the defensive end. Rebounding, obviously, but that's a lot of effort stuff. On the offensive end, we didn't execute well at all today. So we got to figure out how we can execute with the personnel we have and get the right personnel with the ball when we want it.
Yeah. The one thing in a game like this where it's lopsided, we got to see a lot of players.
Correct. Yeah. Yep.
So that's a positive I take out of it because now some girls got that first varsity experience or a chance to get out there and sweat and make a play. Tell us about a few girls that are on the bench that are vying for some minutes down the road.
So I think Jocelyn O'Meara gives us a lot of energy, right? She's an energetic player that does a lot of great stuff on the defensive end. She rebounds well. She definitely has some areas of weakness that we need to improve on. But in terms of effort, kid, I don't think it gets better than that.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. Who else we got in that rotation? We didn't see Taylor today. Taylor Johnson. She's battling some injuries right now, so I wanted to keep the minutes low. But she got some decent minutes on their South game, and she's going to end up being pretty good for us down the line.
Good.
She's a quick kid, quick guard, can handle pretty well, decent shot. So I'm looking forward to what she grows into.
Yeah, and I think an advantage you have in Meredith is somebody who's been around the block. She's played on some really good teams. She's a great leader on and off the floor.
Yep.
She's a very positive influence on these girls. But you're young.
Yeah, we are.
As far as experience and minutes go.
If you look at it, we have Mare averaged about 28 minutes a game last year.
Yeah.
Our next highest minutes is 16.
Right.
So, and that's only 2 kids. So if you're looking at outside of those 3 kids, we're down to 5 minutes a game at best at the varsity level.
Absolutely.
So we're figuring things out as we go, and there's not a long preseason. So
no. And the one thing I remember in our preseason show, we talked about hitting our stride late in the season.
Yeah.
We're gonna hit some bumps in the road along the way, but learning and getting better, and hopefully by the second half, you're going into the playoff run.
Hopefully, right? That's the goal, is that we are hitting the stride when we want to. And I knew going into this, when we saw the schedule early on, that this is not the 3 I'd want to pick to start with.
Right.
I knew there was going to be a tough stretch. I knew, all 3 were going to offer things defensively that were going to be tough for us. But, you learn from that too.
Absolutely.
So there's benefits there. I don't love this being an 0-3 record, but, at some point it's going to come together.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you again.
You're welcome.
The first one under the belt. Next time Bob will be here.
Great.
He's not so much fun. We're gonna leave it here. Tonight's game. We'll be back in January with our next home game. Grizzlies will be on the road over the holidays, so if you can get a chance, get out and watch them play. Rob Foreman, sign off for my partner Bob Bartolucci tonight. Thanks to the GTV staff that makes this all possible. We'll see you next time. Thanks.